Hi teacher, my name is Andre Jamin Hernandez. Now I want to show my stirling engine. Okay, this is my stirling engine. As you can see, this burn in this part. In the inside this there are water, and in this part this is the heringa, and this is the three CDs that are united to a motor. This is the motor. In theory, the motor have to round when thanks to the vapor, but the problem is that the project don't round. As you can see, for example, I'm going to make a little I don't know why, but the motor can round. I don't know what is the problem. Maybe the friction. I tried to use oil to reduce the friction, but this was unsuccessful. And yes, this is the motor. As you can see, the motor don't have the strong. We can see this, the smoke, but no, the motor don't round.
My name is Juan Diego, and this is my contribution to the photo and it's basically explanation of stirling motor. A conduct that will be the can in that case that will have the water into. The water will heat up and that turn it into gas that will pass around the syringe. The syringe have, as you know, a plugger, sorry, that actually will do on the move and is connect around that circle that is basically, in the case of the forum, it's basically a CD that is really connect to the plugger, making the movement move on, move out, move on, move out into the syringe. How actually that process works into the syringe? Are the process? Well, the first process that we recognized was the ideal Carnot efficiency that talk about the temperature. This process is actually used in different couple of motors. For example, the cars motor, the trains motor have done principles. That is basically the switch around the temperatures, for example, the hot one and the cold one, and how for example, in the case of the forum, the plugger will move to the hot part to the cold part, generating the energy. This will be done by another principle that will be explained more. Well, how works the motor? The motor have a heat source that, in the case of the forum, is a candle, and it's connected by but this is basically the Carnot efficiency and how it works into the syringe. The syringe will turn into the hot one, into the cold one, and in that way. And the ideal gas law talks about the relationship of the pressure and the volume. If you have a lot of volume, you have less pressure. If you have a lot of pressure, you have less volume. And how works in the syringe? How works in the forum? Well, in the syringe, as you know, the can will generate a lot of gas that will pressure the plugger out. But ironically, the CD will help the plugger to go into again, but will be into, generating all the energy around a relationship of the pressure when the syringe came back. But when the gas push the syringe out, will 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 be separated by the particles and move out. And of course, the Newton's laws in the motor. The first one basically talks about how some force could make move an object that is basically static, and that's happening into the syringe when the plugger move out, move on, move out, move on, move out, move on, being out of their repose. The second law talks about all the summatory of the forces generate. For example, when it's out, it's a force that basically is pushing, but ironically, one force is basically trying to retreat them, and it's all that movement, basically the summatory of the forces around the plugger. And the third one